Hi guys. My presentation is not going to be as technical as the previous one, so sorry for disappointing you. I'll try to make it high level. And I'm Michael Messele. I work with Etherspot, and I have been actively working in the space for the past, from 2017 onwards, and I have been in the space longer than that. So today I'll talk to you a little bit about account abstraction and in ERC 4337 and the impact of account abstraction in the development of the ecosystem, the Web3 ecosystem. So what I would do is I will tell you why it is important, what it is, then we'll touch upon how it works, then when it is going to be available or whether it is available right now, and then you might say to me, really, an excitement, or you might say, really, with cynicism, and then we'll try and see what can be coming across the horizon. Before I start though, how many of you guys have heard the term account abstraction? If you can just raise your hands for me. Quite a lot of you have heard about it, and how many of you know how it works? Oh, cool, a few of you. So what I'll try and do is, before I do it, I'll tell you why we need account abstraction, because account abstraction makes Web3 a whole lot usable than it is. And as you can see with the stats, we bring all these users to the space and lose them to the centralized players because we make it very hard. One of the challenges of non-custodialship is the fact that usability suffers. So that's what we try to address with account abstraction. So you might say, why? Let's talk about onboarding. I would rather cross a bridge, a rickety wooden bridge across a river, than being onboarded into the Web3 space, because the average person has to know things: wallets, gas, chains, stablecoins, native. The average person has no time to be dealing with that. God save you if you lose something. So if I lose my keys, it's not easy for me to recover it in the existing Web3 world. Again, for the average person, that's not going to be attractive to do so. Hence, we tell them, make sure you keep your recovery phrase, don't lose it. And we even tell them, oh yeah, we've got a safe way to keep your assets, a hardware wallet. It looks very much similar to a memory stick, which I can misplace or someone can take away from me. So the upshot of it is, if I make a mistake, there is no one coming to the rescue with the Web3 world that we have at the moment. So for the average person, that is a turn-off. Now I've gone past all those. Then I'm asked to sign 50 times. All I wanted to do was I have asset, say, some 200 USDC on some chain, and I wanted to do a staking of my chain, my asset X into asset Y and asset Z, and I wanted to add them into a liquidity pool. I have to sign so many times, and even when I sign them, this is just some code coming up and say to me, sign. That's even an attack vector being open in there. Then when I go past that, with all the scaling solutions that we have in the EVM world, over 100 alt L1s and L2 solutions, it is like island hopping. I have to go from one island to another island. I have to get some sailboat to get me there. Then once I get there, oh, the new island uses its own currency. My last currency doesn't work. So I will say, can someone exchange it for me? So all these are challenges that we have to solve, and account abstraction helps us. How? Well, first of all, what is account abstraction, and how does the ERC 437 work? Well, it gives us a smart account, a smart contract-based account, like a wallet, which makes it easier for us because it is programmable and modular. I will go into some of the details in the next slide. So one of the aspects that account abstraction makes it easy for us is I can use social logins. Social logins in that I can use my Twitter account to log in, and I would have a wallet created for me in the background. Oh, cool. And that actually helps me in terms of recovery because I no longer care about the wallet itself. I have my Twitter account. So if I lose my Twitter account access, I would get it through the normal means. again, there's a bit of an attack vector there. If my Twitter account is compromised, someone can get hold of my wallet. So usability, it depends on what scenario I want to use this setup. Or I might say, no, I want to use my wallet straight up. So in that sense, I can then have my wallet being accessed by my laptop as well as my phone. So if I lose one of them, I can access it through. Say if I lose my phone, I can get it back, recover it through my phone. Through my laptop. And I can even have people nominated where if I lose something, I can go through them to access my wallet. So recovery makes it now a little bit closer to the Web2 world. The thing I've mentioned to you about me being able to sign and being forced to sign multiple times. Let me come back to the case where I have token X on some chain and I wanted to add to the liquidity pool with token Y and token Z are involved. It means I have to have at least 4 or 5 times signature. I have to sign about 4 or 5 times because I have to authorize token, this token, that token. Now, with the programmability aspect, imagine the smart contract says, okay, all the user intends to do is to add this liquidity into this liquidity pool, and he has this token. Okay, so this involves this action, this action, this action, this action. Now, I declare a batch, and that batch, I sign once, and that signature is applied to all of them. It means I don't need to sign multiple times. I can just do it once. So now, again, that is getting closer to the Web2 usability. It is almost closer to me adding an item into the shopping cart in Amazon or something. Now, another key aspect is session keys. Session keys means if I'm connecting to a certain app, I can use a specific key that has a spending limit specifically to that app, and let's say it expires in 20 days. And I'm then connecting to another app. To this other app, I'm giving it another session key that expires after one transaction. So what it means is, if any of them get compromised, my bigger account is not compromised as it is at the moment. So session keys can lead to a lot of innovation based on this workability. Another thing of the 4337 is a standardized paymaster. Basically, a gas tank, which is a third-party gas tank. So if I'm doing a transaction and paying something, I can either pay the gas myself or this third-party paymaster can pay it for me. Imagine you have a Web2 service and you've got subscribers that pay $10 a month, but you want them to use, in this setup, a Web3 construct. So you charge them £10 a month, and you don't want them to know anything about the crypto side. You want to pay the gas payment yourself on their behalf. Just like when we go and use our cards in any of the shops, the surcharge for the card payment is handled by the businesses, the merchants. You can do the same thing. £10 they pay you a month, and your business model says that's enough to cover X amount of transactions for these guys. So when they do something, you pay for the gas yourself. They're none the wiser. And you can even do this. You have a Web3 service, and you wanted to do a bit of a promotion and say, for the first 500 users that use a specific smart contract, I want to subsidize their payment if they don't pay gas. Paymaster will do it for you. Within the Paymaster, it even allows you to pay gas using other tokens, not just the native token. Now, one thing that is gaining popularity in the space is modular accounts. So what modular account means, you have a basic wallet and you build modules, add modules to it. It's like an app store, you have a module store. Let me give you an example. You were interacting with an institution that required a specific KYC. Now, this specific wallet you have doesn't have it. But if it is a modular account, you just click on a button, it takes you to the module store, you find the module from that specific institution that allows that KYC setup, click, add the module, now you can do it. When you don't want that module, you can get rid of it. In fact, then another user says, I wish I could do non-custodial limit orders, but this wallet doesn't have it. Or do I need to use another wallet? No, you don't. Again, you go to the module store, get that specific module that allows you to do that. So modular account makes usability across the board a whole lot easier. So I've told you a little bit about smart accounts, paymasters, and there is this other big thing within this ERC 4337 setup called bundler. What bundlers are they're like builders of the 4337 mempool. What it means is if my wallet gets a transaction, and in this case, they're called user operations, and it says, I want to submit this user operation, and the bundler says, okay, who's paying for the gas, yourself or the paymaster? It's irrelevant which one it does. It gets the gas payment from that. Now, with these bundles, what it does is, when multiple users send their user operations, it can aggregate them together. And it can even say, okay, within the bundler, you have this flexibility to use a different signature algorithm. Instead of ECDSA that is being used at the moment, you can use a BLS signature algorithm. So what that allows you is, when you use a BLS signature, you can say if you have 10 transactions, you can aggregate their signatures into one. So one ECDSA transaction, I think, takes about 64 bytes. So within 10, you save that much space when you submit this into the mempool. So you can have memory saving. Other aspects that the bundler gives you is the ability to have a shared mempool. Shared mempool means I'm sending my transaction to this bundler propagates it to other bundlers around, so it adds to the redundancy of the system. Even better, if for whatever reason my transaction is being censored, I can just, because bundlers are open source setups, at home I can just spin off a bundler and process it myself. Because of the shared mempool aspect, then I'm getting around the censorship resistance angle. So this is a key construct that has come about. So when it is actually here right now, there are hundreds of applications and dApps that do use ERC 4337 and accounts, smart accounts. And just recently in Thailand, there was a festival where music, technology, arts, outdoorsy stuff, they all got together. And these guys have been doing the Mystic Valley event. And this year, they managed the ticketing system over a blockchain. They managed to sell drinks, memorabilia, the various ticketing, and everything, and even a reward system on, I think, on the Fuse blockchain. So it was amazing to see these NFTs actually having a real use case. Maybe we can make a case for the first people that got drunk on the blockchain and using NFTs, and you can see quite a lot of those. So that was enabled with a touchless sort of experience where I go to the bar and I do use my contactless card. The same sort of scenario. The company that did run it, the event is Bitaza, and they had an app called Freedom App. All they did is just scan, you buy whatever item you wanted. So account abstraction was embedded in there, and that gave the users a Web2-like experience. They didn't have to worry about gas, this and the other. Just a flawless experience. And another example, just examples that I've picked up, is a betting service. In this betting service, how they work is you use social login to log in, and the social login creates a wallet in the background for you, and the system asks you to deposit a stable coin. Now, what this means is, even if this bookmaking company goes down, your assets are held in your wallet. So it wouldn't matter if they went down tomorrow. Even if they went down once you placed a bet, it still wouldn't matter, because the smart contract, if you win, it sends the win into your wallet. If you don't win, it's the administrator's problem. So with this construct, the users won't even know which blockchain they're connected to. And this service actually connects with a few blockchains. So again, smart accounts being in active operation. Then is that all, or what is next? What is coming over the horizon? What if over the horizon, if I have funds on one chain, I can use that fund when I go across to the other chain without me having to bridge it explicitly? What if I have some, say, Gnosis chain, or if I have some XDAI and I wanted to do something on Polygon, what if I don't need to get the gas token Matic on the Polygon side and the paymaster just deducts it from my Gnosis token and makes that automatically available for me? That is way closer than you think. What if then, as the earlier example I gave you, that the user wanted to, their intention was to add the staking, but what if as a user I say, I have 200 USDC, I want to get 10% return from my 200 USDC. Can you list me with a risk, ordered by risk coefficient, all the opportunities that can give me 10% return? And as a user, I would love to do that. That's just similar to how I book a flight in Skyscanner. I say, I'm going to destination X. Just list me the flights I want non-stop. And they all come down and I choose whichever one I want. So intents will deliver such usability for us. Combining all of them, then I'm at the cusp of having an omni-chain experience. As a user, why should I care which chain the offer is coming from? When I use Twitter, I can't care less whether they have an Oracle database, Sybase, NoSQL. It's none of my business. I just click, upload, follow. Why can I not do that with my DeFi offerings as well? And that is coming across the horizon. So when you do all this and deliver it to me with MEV protection where I'm not being front run, sandwich attacked, that is what should be coming in the next iteration. So again, from Etherspot's perspective, we provide an account abstraction solution. If any one of you guys are interested, you can scan the QR code and get in touch with us. And if I have managed to spark any questions, please do ask me. Thank you for your time.